Howdy, I'm Kurt Williams, and these are today's new comics. It's a bit of a lighter week. This is my first Wednesday in Atlanta, Georgia. I haven't really found a home-based local comic store yet, so I had to go to 3 today to actually find everything I was looking for. And even still, I wasn't able to find a copy of The Last Mermaid issue 2, which was a bummer, but I'll find it eventually. I started by going to Dave's Cards and Comics, which is just directly south of me. It's the closest comic store, and they had plenty of good stuff. It's a great comic store, but not the best selection of new stuff. So then I went to Criminal Records, which is a lot closer to downtown, but as the name suggests, they are more of a record store and they just happen to have comics, so their new comic selection was down to like maybe 10 or 15 individual issues by the time I got there around 12:30. And then the third place I went was Oxford Comics and Games, which is great. They have tons of new stuff, and it was my first time there. I didn't have a ton of time to look around, but the shop looks really well rounded. Great store. Too bad it's 45 minutes away from me right now. Anyway, there's lots of really exciting stuff that came out this week. First of which being issue 1 of Rook Exodus by Geoff Johns and Jason Fabok. I'm really excited about this series. We got a preview of it in Ghost Machine issue 1 a while ago, which I reviewed in a separate video. It's like farmers on a distant planet in the future, and it looks really well done. I'm a huge fan of both creators. I can't wait to dig into this. Also from Ghost Machine, we got issue 1 of the ongoing Geiger series. That's by Geoff Johns and Gary Frank. I've loved everything Geiger so far. Gary Frank is another one of my favorite artists. It's a really cool concept about this radioactive man who wanders the desert of the apocalypse, and there's all kinds of weird, wacky villains he fights. It's really dramatic and kind of campy, but lots of fun. Also from Ghost Machine, we got issue 1 of Redcoat. That's by Geoff Johns and Brian Hitch. I've been really excited about this one as well. To be honest, the concept didn't appeal to me that much until I read the preview in Ghost Machine issue 1, and now I'm really excited. And I've been following Hitch's Instagram page where he shows his drawings in progress, and it just made me really excited. I'm really looking forward to reading this. Next, we got issue 17 of Kaya, the best comic of 2023. That's by Wes Craig. I think this is hands down the best ongoing comic right now. It's really compelling writing, and it's just this gorgeous artwork. It's so well done. It looks simple at first, but there's a lot of depth of detail in there, and his watercoloring technique is just beautiful. Don't let the fact that we're on issue 17 already deter you from reading it. Just get the trades for the first 10 or the first 15 issues. It's okay. Jump on this series as soon as you can. Then I've got issue 3 of The One Hand. That's by Ram V and Lawrence Campbell. I finally had the chance to read issue 2 earlier today, and I gotta tell you, it's getting a lot better. I think the Sixth Finger, which is the parallel series to go with it, is still a little bit better, but this one is definitely getting better as it goes. It's a really well done noir serial killer type detective story, and it is definitely a more enhanced experience if you're reading the Sixth Finger as well, because they cross over all the time. Then I got issue 7 of The Sacrificers. That's by Rick Remender and Max Fiumara. This stuff is great as well. We had a bit of a break after issue 6 so they could catch their breath, but we're right back into it with excellent storytelling, just gorgeous artwork. It's kind of in the same vein as Kaya. It's like high fantasy adventuring stuff, but there's lots of emotion. It's a really great story. Then I got issue 9 of the Immortal Thor. I also just caught up on this series, and Al Ewing is killing it, and it really doesn't matter what artist they have on it, because all 3 who have worked on the series so far are great for Thor. At the end of issue 8, we finally got to a point in the story where I felt like I had a good handle on what was going on. We had some weird stuff going on with the Roxxon Corporation kind of in the background, and I wasn't sure what the scope of it was or what the stakes of it was, but now it's pretty clear, and I'm pretty excited to read the next chapter. Then I got issue 14 of Doctor Strange. That's by Jed MacKay and Pascal Ferry. This series I wasn't exactly in love with when it started, but I gotta tell you, after reading the last 4 issues, I'm really enjoying it. I especially like this cover from Alex Ross because it's a parody of the cover before it, which had the same characters in more or less the same position, but they're in different costumes on this cover because they've entered into like a live-action Dungeons and Dragons world. It's funny and smart and colorful, and if you gave up on Doctor Strange earlier, now's a good time to start back up. This is only the second issue of this most recent arc, so it's really easy to catch up at this point. Another pretty good issue from Marvel, we got issue 7 of the Sensational She-Hulk by Rainbow Rowell and Iguara. The superheroing stuff is kind of taking a break for a couple issues, but what they're doing is they're going to a resort on the edge of the sun, so it feels kind of like romantic Doctor Who type stuff. We've also got this cool throwback cameo appearance from Ganymede. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Sometimes when you have throwback cameos, the writer will make them way too campy. It'll be just a joke to have have that character in the first place, and the writing will suffer because of it. But as usual, Rainbow Rowell is doing a great job of balancing a serious premise with real stakes with a fun tone that's believable. So still not a ton of action in this series, but I still recommend it. Then we got issue 8 of Captain America by J. Michael Straczynski and Carlos Magno. This series has, I think, been getting better. We hit kind of a low when Jesus Saiz left the book, but we've been kind of steadily climbing out of that low. It's all right. Straczynski's writing is maybe not the best it's ever been, but in the last couple issues it was better than the couple before that. This new storyline that started in the issue before is pretty cool. It feels like it has some real weight to it. I don't love Captain America constantly dealing with magic stuff because it just doesn't feel like he belongs. But I don't know, maybe Straczynski will pull some good character building out of it. Then I've got issue 33 of X-Men by Gary Dugan and Joshua Cassara. I don't remember what's happening in this series, and I don't really care. The X-Men reboot is happening soon anyway, so does it really matter? Then I've got issue 8 of Void Rivals. That's by Robert Kirkman and Lorenzo De Felici. I still have only read the first couple issues of this, so I can't really speak to how good it is. It seems like people are enjoying it. I don't know. If you've been reading it, what do you like about it? And then the last issue that I bought today is issue 1 of Deadpool by Cody Ziegler and Roger Antonio. And lately, Ziegler's stuff has not really been impressing me, and in general, I don't love Deadpool comics anyway, so I don't really know why I bought it. I guess I want to give both the character and the writer another chance to impress me. But to be honest, my expectations are pretty low. I'm just not a Deadpool guy. And that's it for today. I would love to have my typical background of bookshelves, but the host of the Airbnb that we're staying in for this month will not allow me to bring in my bookshelves or my comic collection, so they are all in a storage unit. So for now, you got this. That big guy that's swimming around, he's called the pavement fish because we rescued him from a parking lot. And sorry about the audio. It's, it's what I have to work with right now. Anyway, more videos soon, and if you read these new comics from today, what did you think?